Hi, welcome back to Chapter 3, Research Topic and Literature Review. In this chapter, we're going to cover 3 sections. In the first section, we'll be looking at what is the research problem. Then we will see conduction about the literature review, and finally reviewing and writing the source of literature. And of course, quick conclusion on what we have learned. So let's go ahead and explore the first section. What is the research problem? This section we will cover 3 outlines. In the first outline, we'll be looking at introductory in general, just philosophical, graphical review on the meaning of problem and research in general. Then we will be looking at the research problem identification, how to identify a research problem. And finally, we'll be looking at research focus. To start up with, let me take you to the following graphical presentation. So I would like to start by assuming existence of different fields. For example, we have education field, you have health sector field, maybe you have a defense field, you have business, and so on. Regardless which field you have come from, you will see sooner or later that your ability to understand the general concept of research, you will be able to take that knowledge and just apply it to any of those fields. So for illustrative purpose, I'm going to pick one of those fields, and I will choose, for example, education. And as you know, one of the main important elements of education is to have a school, for example. So I will assume there is a school, and for this example, I will go to school A. And let us assume that School A board of directors have come up to the decision to introduce a new program, online program. So I will call this, for example, online program X. So this is the new project the school are set to do based on the final decision. Now, for just illustration purpose, I'm going to miss the point on how they have reached up to this decision. It doesn't concern me at the moment, but I will assume this is the final decision the school come up with. And since the program has been set to be executed, that means there have been kind of a start. So you see now, this element X, it has now a start. And since we are starting something, means there is a present status for this program. And then, of course, since you have a present, probably we will be looking at the future sometimes later. Now, what is fancy about what I have drawn just now? I want you to start to imagine with me this. Do you see any question here? Well, how about this? How about this? Okay. First of all, I would like to assume a question. Since we were talking about school in nature, let me go backward now. This school A, which is operating in the field of education, must have some kind of mission. There is vision, of course, and there's kind of value for this school. Now, my first question here is, this program is X in the line of MVV, I mean the mission, vision, and values. In other words, form the question as you like. Does this X contribute actually, or it is in the line with the overall mission, vision, and values? Now, I don't want you to be subjective answering me. Let's try to be quite objective. To answer me objectively, we need a certain valid answer to back up what you are saying. First, to answer this question, we'll come back to our favorite word, and that's why you are here. It is some kind of a research. Don't you agree with that? But I would like to ask now, how about the word problem? Do you define this question or this task, whatever you call it? Is it a problem? Many people might consider the word problem at face value, but no. The problem, it means unknown, something we don't know, and we would like to find out. Let me say, in technically speaking, not the social problem we all understand. And since it is a problem, it has a context, it has a statement. Okay, now say for example we have passed this stage and we are at the starting point and we started. It means there is a present. Now, before reaching out to the present here, there's another question I'm going to use. How? How are we going to start X program using the minimal resource and to secure a maximum benefit or profit Once again, is this a problem? Yes, it is a problem because we don't know. Once again, we set up research and we start investigation to produce an answer. Okay, now we are at the present. Say, for example, in this case, there are two possible stages of a present. The first one is success, and the second stage is fail. That means if it is in the success stage, the idea or the plan has gone just correct. The question is, are you going to stop there? I don't think so. Must be another question here. We will come to it later. And the second possible path, it is fail. So there is a problem. The problem is the program is not meeting the need. The program is not meeting the expectation. Of course, here you can form a simple question is why the program is not working, why we didn't meet the expectation. And this why might lead you backward as well. Maybe the start was wrong, maybe the decision was wrong, etc., etc. So you have a whole lot of things to do here, and your research here must be quite a bit really hard chip to conduct. So most of the time, people come to a stage of failure to realize the need of research, and they start seeking help. We have a problem. But actually, many less to understand the importance of this. You see, I always believe being successful is not as important as keeping the speed of success. To reach out to the top of a mountain, what is your next step? So I love very much working on these projects. Of course, most of the time, my job is to handle these problems. Most of the times, you get the stage of failure and people ask your help or contribution. Other times, of course, I work on this stage, on the start, maybe on the decision making. But very few actually try to bring you in when they are at this stage. Maybe they are in the stage of being a little bit arrogant, or the success is there. Maybe we don't need further. We're doing well. The plan is going good. But the actual question here, could you please tell me what kind of question we can do here? Well, I will try to help you. Yes, it is how, what? How can we take this success to the next step? What can we do to make this success even better? Okay, there is no why here. There is what, there is how, there is when. Now you can see quite clear, if this question mark, whatever you form a question here, one way or another, it will be related to the stage of the future. It is about the future. And that's why this stage, I call it the intelligence stage. The intelligence stage is the stage where you are asking and preparing for the future when you are strong, when you are successful. I don't believe there is an intelligent or failure. You are speaking about a future. That's why intelligence related to success, because you're speaking about a future. You have a future to speak about. As a conclusion, what you can see here, that on the first stage, on the decision making, there are questions to be made. On the stage of a start, there are other kind of other kind of questions to be made. On the present stage, there are questions to be made. Questions could be on how, question could be on what, when, where. All these questions can be formed. But one question is why something happened. And this is one of the most important questions in the world of research, because it is research of investigation and trying to figure out solution of certain problem is based on why this happens. The problems, the research, the questions, all these fragments so far, just to try to pick up with me philosophically, and later on we'll use this knowledge all together. The image will be quite clear. So in conclusion, you could see that understanding of a problem and it's relevant to research, it's quite clear now. That problem, it doesn't mean per se the social problem that people perceive or understand, but problem could be the idea of the unknown, that we were trying to figure out something. Then we saw the meaning of environment, where the problem is. You say that there is a culture, there is a space, there is a time. All these are important aspects of a factor you must understand when you start to speak about research problem. Then we saw defining possible source and cause of the problem to happen. It means where is the start, what are we looking at, which stage are we in, etc. And later on, we're going to start to talk about what is the history on the problem there, and this is the meaning of literature. We're going to discuss further in the following sections. So that was a quick introductory on the idea of research and problems. The second outline, and that is research problem identification. I will see you then.